The Satanic Verses is a magical realist novel written by Salman Rushdie in 1988. Now, Salman Rushdie is a critically acclaimed author who has won the Booker Prize and 2 Whitbread Prizes. He was knighted for his contribution to literature in 2007. The main characters of this book are Saladin Chamcha and Gabriel Farishta, and the book starts with them falling into the English Channel from an airplane. Now, it goes back in time a little bit and explains their origins. Saladin is a voice actor in Britain who has just severed all ties with his former life in India. And Gabriel is the most famous Bollywood actor of the time, and he is running away from this life to Britain and following his newfound love interest. Now, they end up on the same flight to Britain, which is hijacked and blown up over the English Channel. They plummet into the channel, and they are the only survivors of the crash. Now, they both experience some changes during their descent, and those were that Saladin was transformed into a satyr, which was actually Satan, and Gabriel was transformed into the Archangel Gabriel. And so the rest of the main storyline of this book centers along the conflicts that they face both in their own lives and together. There is a secondary plot to this novel, which takes place within Gabriel's dreams, and it is him as the angel Gabriel in several important moments. The first is the issuing of the Satanic verses that are in the Quran, and these were that Muhammad actually accepted 3 more deities, but then quickly revoked them, because he said that they were revealed to him by the devil, and not Gabriel, as the rest of the Quran was. The second of these storylines is that there is an imam, probably of Iran, that is in exile in Britain, but then he reclaims the throne. Now, this story is very reminiscent of Ayatollah Khomeini's, and he will be important later on. Now, the third storyline is Gabriel as the husband of a modern-day girl named Aisha, who leads her town on the Hajj, which is the pilgrimage to Mecca. This book is fiction, so it's meant for entertainment, but it explicitly talks about many controversial topics, which means that it is more targeted towards United Kingdom readers and Muslims, because these are the communities that are specifically targeted. Now, for the United Kingdom targeting, it has to do a lot with the racism that was going on at the time. Now, Saladin ends up in a sort of slum area of London, and he has to deal with a lot of things going on with racism and riots that are going on about a black man who was charged with killings that he did not commit. Even though Saladin didn't like him, he is supporting him, and this man actually ends up dying in prison, and then it's revealed that he didn't commit the killings, which causes a lot of issues in London at the time. Now, the Muslim controversy is definitely the most interesting thing about this book. So, this book has been banned in many countries with either Muslim majorities or minorities, and I'll read off the list. India, South Africa, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Somalia, Bangladesh, Sudan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Qatar, Papua New Guinea, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Kenya, Tanzania, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Iran. South Africa is the only one that has since lifted its ban, but the main controversy comes from Iran. Now, Ayatollah Khomeini, if you remember from earlier, who was part of this book was based off of him, issued a fatwa against Salman Rushdie. And what a fatwa is basically an order for Muslims to kill him. And they actually offered, I think, a $6 million reward for this. So, obviously, there were many attempts on Rushdie's life, and he had to go into hiding. The Japanese translator of the book was actually killed. And this controversy stems from the Satanic verses, which the book gets its name from, and how it is dealt with in the book, because it's very critical of the Prophet Muhammad. And so, obviously, Muslims took this as an attack towards their faith, and they did not like it at all. Now, to digress from that, the writing style uses modern language that hides nothing out of politeness, which really adds to the overall effect. And because of all these things, I would very strongly recommend this book, but you have to have an open mind, and you have to focus very closely on the book, but in the end, it will definitely be worth your time.